Financial freedom definition and the truth about social class. How to determine means free financial freedom that we seeking is not in nature. Wealth is just a tool. What we really want is the right to master of the time. Personal financial freedom means a person who no longer needs to be part-time to meet the needs of the essentials of life. Again, when we want to reach a certain state first, theory, we should understand the definition of. It's only when you have a clear definition you are only able to achieve that. If your imagination is still vague, then in your head it's just a mess. It is impossible to build a plan so effective. If you have achieved this status, you can tell that I no longer need to worry about in terms of money. I was free and talented. Before we dive into the more, don't forget to follow the channel to know more facts about money and help you quickly achieve freedom of talent. The Art of Fortune greets you, and you guys probably expect me to be serious. Talk about how to make a profit, how to rotate, how to profit from the exchange, or how to hoard land for project development, even erecting the 7 finances. This method you can see everywhere, where from social media channels to books, but whether these methods is really effective. As a result, we have no shortage of articles showing how to get rich from strategies, but can you really follow? Not even the author of the article, whether they can repeat the success of. Once again, the real methods. Earning money can be easy, is open to everyone. No, you think these strategies have really effective. Not some methods are only suitable for certain individuals. Like each person has a different way of hunting, or the way to sing a song is also different. If you just want to copy the war completely, other people's strategies to achieve fish success, that is really very difficult. So only those at the level low new continuous search method, theory and expectations that can be fully simulated. But this rarely helps. What I want to tell you is, methodology is only attractive to those people at a lower level than those at a lower level. Higher usually focuses on side logic. Then it is the Taoist God. Who is the Taoist? The main religion is the law of accepting people's personal mistakes. Obeying the law is the god of doing so. To become a god, please obey the law. How to comply with the law? First of all, let's understand what the law is. Then, figure out these laws. When you clearly understand, your path will become bright. Show most of the difficulties we encounter, it's not because the problem has no solution or too difficult, but because of the way we thinking and approach with problems. Our beliefs are all based on our beliefs, perspectives, and how we interpret the world. Gender personal perspectives and beliefs is often one-sided and narrow. In other words, if it is based on the limitations to resolve emotional trading issues or money, we will usually have a way short-sighted and deviant work. Why should we base ourselves on the principle of the universe and the objective law of using tissue? This mindset to replace these ways, old thinking based on limited experience of individuals. This is like updating Japanese its cognitive system. It lifts great into a best engine if a person's thoughts are too simple and unable to see the problem from many contributors. Degree. It will be like Charlie's sentence, Moner, if all you have is the hammer, the world will look like 1 nails. This is a one-way thinking type, so what we need to do regularly is an extract of the rules, and when encountering the problem is not just thinking about how to solve the problem specifically, but also on the basis of the answer for that specific problem that draws methods and laws of coincidence. The other way needs to draw the answer from the concrete problems abstracted into effective rules to apply to similar problems in the future. Hybrid. If you can do this, you already possesses the ability to walk on the path of becoming a god. From a mortal to a god. Become a god by seeing through the law, heaven and earth. I hope when we end, everyone will think carefully about this part. The decisions you make every day based on personal experience or based on guessed rules. The bodiless heavenly path often keeps goodness. The disembodied heavenly Tao means too. The eternal law of heaven and earth is not affected by personal emotions, is also not distinguishing between good and bad people as a rule. Natural law, it operates in a guessed way, is not influenced by good thinking. Your subjective will. Fishermen often keep good people misunderstood. And here is not only kindness but ingenuity in the use of using the laws of nature, the laws of self. Naturally, T and L will help people know how to use it to achieve this person is the one who ingenuity in applying the law of self, social and human relations. This is really a good person in reality. When a person completely renounces the misconceptions and personal thoughts, act according to the heavenly way and the laws, objectivity of nature, they will become the embodiment of the heavenly island and the laws of nature, and of course they will invincible if you can solve like all of his motives. All your actions will be more and more approaching the nature of the problem and society. Why is this? Because the rules, this objective law has been verified in the universe for a long time. The system has been. Presets are like a year with 4 spring sowing autumn seeds picker. If you upset the order, no one can avoid failure. Some people keep try to do things that are contrary to the rules, laws and results. Of course there is no harvest in the financial world too. The same if you want to pass the social class, you must understand the law. To pass, if you want financial freedom, in whatever field, you have to understand these laws in any system which few elements occupy. About 20 pH will typically produce the large impact accounts for 80 pH wallet results. Example, in a business with 20 customers, goods that can bring in 80 pH of revenue. In a 20 pH society, people hold 80 pH. Similar social assets in trading. If you make 100 trades, maybe only 20 trades are profitable, and the other 80 transactions are only little or no loss. If you understand that the world obeys according to the 8020 rule, you will recognize the simple reality of this world about the substance is unfair. Fair only is the ideal of human beings. Even in the field of, there are only 20 pH people who can really become rich. There are 80 pH left. A high rate will be lost. You have to work hard to become among the few people in the 20 pH group. The rich will be richer and the poor will be even poorer. Is the Matthew effect that the channel ancient people used to share. You can see this is an immutable law that you need to understand. Clearly this law can be applied to any field, whether it is a project or a coin. Direction of development. When a person begins getting better, they will go further than vice versa. Once one starts, the poorer they are, the deeper they will sink, deeper and deeper in difficulties. This law for us know that the distribution of resources and wealth in fact is extremely unbalanced. Deserves a few people who hold the majority assets and resources in the commune system. This imbalance are increasingly lacking in people, and successful organization will be more successful, while the less fortunate will even more difficult to escape your situation. When you understand the law 8020 and the Matthew effect, you just realized why are these invisible weigh on you like that. This invisibly dominates you only when you understand the basic principles and laws. Basics. You really know how to create their path to financial freedom and the road to cross the commune class. The rich living together with the rich, the poor live with the poor. Social mobility in the future will gradually becoming a closed market. Movable property has now begun to show clearly this trend. Once the social class becomes fixed, the crossing of barriers, this bumper will become extremely difficult at the end. We'll also create a system that dragon birth dragon, phoenix birth phoenix, and child sour peach. This is not a joke, but real-life children of wealthy families through the good sex and accumulated social experience to prepare to inherit the family's property. On the contrary, children of families' poverty is immersed in overspending levels and luxury products that are hard to beat. Part competition for fame and the emphasis on floating brands. The sound makes the pressure not only put on our generation but also the next generation. If this generation does not live well for the next generation, it is even more difficult to have a chance to change your life because of the opportunity will be less and less. Go for those who can afford it, especially if the system is fair, where many things have been decided from birth. If you look at history not only in Vietnam but also in Europe or any country, you will understand that the 8020 rule always exists in social structure regardless of whether it is in the imperial court, which society will eventually become hard, and then it will lead to the collapse of TWE. Of course, the new force will quickly turn. Return and social restructuring like changes in countries on the left lend even though the appearance has changed, but the essence still retains. All the rich people who used to have will fall into poverty and vice versa, and the poor people who used to have can rise to a rich social structure. Always form a pyramid according to the rules. Law 8020 maintaining dynamic stability for until humanity perishes. That's the truth of society is. What is the truth is the world of mankind. Operating according to the stop law. This is the competition. Compete to see who is stronger than anyone. The person with the greatest power will have the right. Final rule to decide the division of interests is the truth of the society in which we are. Live if you want to find the path of freedom. Finance in this green forest society. If you want to get through the class first, you must understand what the truth of society is. So the lower class is 80ph people, normal, also known as the ruling class without fat NGO has no right to decide, and there are no checkpoints even though they are crowded. Lack of time and time. The elite D is 20 and they keep the lemongrass. Export the direction of the association and the shui guan tea. When you have an LP you can see through the color. More. The laws and theorems that I have sharing with you here will change the history. Your thoughts about everyone having can become rich and just join in the financial market. Everyone will be rich. You need to understand the nature of society. There are people who still don't understand that society. This is the society of green forests, but you treat it as a ritual society. If thinking like that, it is obvious that you will be very hard to make money. You have to treat it as is a society of green forests. Let's look at it. Animal kingdom. You will see how species self-defense grows and increases. How the herd leader is in one lip. Challenging schools don't have to. Seeing from a distance. Just observing the dynamic world, you will understand how to deal with these unforeseen risks and challenges. Consciousness has appeared. Whatever field you are in. If you want to become rich or have a status, you must be an exception. You must be a minimum number if what you think you do and do. Currently, they are all the same as normal people, but there are few. In my opinion, you will be very difficult to achieve success in terms of power and finance by secular definition. I don't know if you've ever played a board game, but if you understand how to calculate, you will realize that although it is luck-based dice rolling game, but if you change the starting capital 3 times as many people as otherwise, it is very difficult for you to lose. If you have 10 times more than other people, you almost will win forever. Only then you can also make people play other breaks fast because you can upgrade their facilities without need to weigh the cost, maybe even appropriation of other people's property afterwards. You just have to wait for others to take money for you and they will get poorer and poorer until you go bankrupt. You think it's thanks to technical intelligence or ability. Yours. Why not? It's not a war problem. Which is the power of money. Strength of capital at this time. You don't need to be intelligent, smart, you just need a dice is enough and the remaining 3 players in. Is this game stupid? They can't afford to resist. Why do they? Resisted but had no effect. In practice, under the appropriation of forces with abundant capital, you and a bunch of poor workers are on the same path, but for face to you is a game that people, other assets that have been edited 10 times from through each generation if no one breaks. According to the Matthew effect, the poor will get poorer and poorer. Is the essence of society in the market. Your personal economic problems are actually located in your position and influence in this market is class status. If you have the ability to become 20ph decision makers or participated, even though the market fluctuated, your position will not be affected. Enjoy a lot of reality. If you are strong enough, you can use strategies and measures to influence the direction of market. For example, the U.S. Federal Reserve. FA. You think FA represents interest of ordinary people every day. Also decide whether to raise interest rates or not, or at one time, an increase, a decrease. They can affect the direction of the market. No matter how many poor people there are, even if they will not be poor, the person behind them will definitely not be able to. Poverty-forbidden investors usually have an average ability. They usually belonging to 80ph who participate in the market is on the one hand affected by the strong fluctuations of the market and face. Others feel helpless and finally become puppets controlled by the capital forces. Big. That means in a world where only a few people are in power, Control. Most of the people are in the position. Passive mind and dependency as previous. Here we have discussed the Pareto law, and it's inherently unfair. Nature without affection is not. Because you are kind, bad people will be punished. Penalizing this law to operate in an innocent manner. Love and insensitivity regardless of morality. It simply operates according to the law. Of course, this world has provided for them weapons to be able to resist and create opportunities for that weapon is to follow the law. This is the secret. The biggest that I want to give you to get rid of inferiority and reach out. Regardless of whether you use it to make a profit from the market, increases the value of assets, or anything else that is possible, can be implemented as long as the method of you based on this rule below is some strategies that I would like to give you. Number 1, don't be afraid of anything. You don't have backing, no source, and have no money, but are afraid to hesitate in a holding environment. So what can you do? Without courage even. I don't have the courage to step on the field stage to perform. Do you think that reading awareness is enhanced books every day and listen to live streams is enough? But if it's time to take action, if you are afraid, it is all meaningless. If your awareness isn't enough to motivate, pushing courage and determination to step on the field, then I'll tell you that it's impossible. The number 2 exam becomes a minority, even is a special case only if you have only differentiated action can be achieved. Status is different if the way you talk and behave no differently than 80% of people. What is the difference between you and the guys are controlled when I look at your reactions in situations. Price drops in the market, I can guess who will suffer the loss. Defeat if you can bear the pain that people other. Impossible if you can calm down when the market declines. Even if you don't have any money, you have entered the group 20 special people according to the law Pareto. Then you will have the opportunity to overcome tier limits. Level 3 knows how to listen to what you should listen to. According to those who have been hugely successful in a certain field. When I was the child I often oppose always thinks that I'm right, and in fact I've achieved who are much more successful than those the same age as me. So I became too arrogant. But after 10 years of looking back at myself, I can only curse myself for being stupid. At that time, I had many nobles by my side who have been rolling in the market. Years of finance, they have given me a lot valuable advice, but I refused. All just because I always believed that I was new. It is true that it has been proven that a random advice from someone who has success can save you 10 years of experience. Like when you were in pain, stomach, instead of going to the doctor, you studied the emperor of the inner scriptures and looked at him. Learn traditional and Western medicine and then self-study. Draw conclusions. But that works. Instead, look for a specialist. From the beginning, a piece of advice from a professional can replace the fact that you have to do it yourself. I have been researching for 10 years. Most of the who cannot do this when seeing others react better than me. The first is jealous criticism, because in my heart I feel grievances. The core is no matter how great it is experienced, I still believe in myself. This is not contradictory why it sounds. According to others, it means that I discovered a bug of the operating system of this world. Has some people play the game and level up quickly, then others to transcend gender. The term of the system applied to itself. Darken the heart, intelligently catch them. Listen to their words, which are inherently powerful, and my intellect is limited. But after the trial, in this way I pretend that I am. They are the people of the system will misunderstand that I am the chosen one. Everyone understands and listens. Other people's words don't mean me. I don't believe in myself. I just feel. Seeing that, I didn't understand it well, and when problematic methodology given by the person, the final decision is still. I don't confuse the methodology and yourself. My methodology needs to be regular changes and things that but I myself don't always. Unconditional trust in yourself. Some people can't do it. When the methodology encounters a problem, thinking that they themselves are no longer worth, and all the people from the average class. People have only one way to go. It is to grow up in hardship, gain experience and assets through the process. Work up to a day you can reach. The starting point of others is the starting point of a Funhidai, rich second generation. Yes, at that time you seem to be just new. Reach the starting point of others, but in fact, your capacity has exceeded away from them because the children born in a wealthy family or with a privileged background. Vietnam's ability is incomparable with you get their disposition and will completely incomparable to you in that passage. Your assets may be similar, but you will be at the stage promotion of the so-called 100 fame. 5 career years of thousands of names is actually nothing compared to a single thing. Live life the way you love. Like this era when people are rushing to pursue wealth and fame between big cities, sitting in a deserted place listening again, the sound of the waves lapping in harmony with the cool air of nature's meaning of life, not just an asset. But when you can live your life the way you love is real success. We want financial freedom, want to overcome non-classes, just to have money, but to have more time, space and freedom to live their lives. I want to be the person I want to be. Want to thank you for following the content today. Now if you feel my content has value, don't forget to share with friends and relatives. Please follow me for more information about the secrets of money, dear. Hello and see you again.